Hey guys, in this video we are going to design a 3-stone set engagement ring. If you are new to Rhino, make sure you watch my first video all the way to this video. Otherwise you'll be scratching your empty head during this video. Before we get to the design, I want to take a quick break because honestly, staying ahead of the curve and focusing on personal growth means I'm constantly learning and diving deeper into things like the Bible, which is truly the only book we need. But who has the time to read a 1000-page book every week? I certainly don't. That's why I want to thank today's sponsors, 15minutes.ai, for making it easy to absorb new knowledge. Like usual, let's start a new project and select the small object millimeters. So like we always do, let's begin by making a circle. Place our circle on the center of the world, press enter. For the diameter, I'm going to make a ring of the size of 15.4 millimeter. Hit enter. Next, we are going to offset our circle by typing offset on our keyboard. And for this demo, let's make a ring of the thickness of 1.95 millimeter. Alright, the next step is going to import our gems into Rhino. For this video, we are going to take the round gems, and you can download all of these gems for free under the description section. So let's import this gem into our software. Simply click on import, press OK. I'm going to select this gem and make a duplicate by holding Alt on your keyboard and simply drag up this gem, which is a copy, to place it somewhere around here. Now we are going to resize this gem. I'm going to press Shift on my keyboard and select the little drag handle. The size of the gemstones, let's make a 6.5 millimeter, which is equal to a 1 carat diamond. Alright, let's move up a little bit. And for the secondary stones, let's make a smaller gemstones to the size of 3.5 millimeter. Right, the next thing we are going to do is to create a gallery for our gemstones. Let me enlarge the front view. Let's start our polyline by placing a point at the edge of our diamond. And for the height of our gallery, let's make it at 1.1 millimeter. And for the width, let's make it at 1 millimeter. And hold Shift to constrain a line. Let's come up a little bit and draw something like this. And for this point, let's use our first point and also use the smart track and simply place our points somewhere around here. And now I'm going to move it a little bit down like that. And now we can simply close this curve to make this shape. Now I'm going to select all the curves that we made and simply join them together. Now we can select our shape and revolve. Start of the revolve axis will be 0, and of the revolve axis simply hold Shift and snap it anywhere on this green axis right here. Input 360 degree, hit enter, press enter once again. So now I'm going to select the gallery we made and simply change it to another layer. For example, let's select this layer, change object layer, just like that. Alright, now we have made our gallery. I want to make a duplicate of this gallery for our secondary gemstones. I'm going to switch to the front view and select the curve that we made earlier and use the copy command. I'm going to snap the first point at the end of our shape and simply place it again at the edge of our gemstone. Just like that. Now I'm going to move it a little bit down like that and use the revolve command once again. Start of the axis, press 0. Constrain the axis on the green axis. Start angle 360 degree, press enter and enter once again. Alright, now I'm going to build the bridge on our shank. I'm going to select the inner circle and simply offset it. And for the thickness of our bridge, let's make it at 1.2 millimeter. Press enter and simply left click on your grid, just like that. Before moving forward, I'm going to move this a little bit down to somewhere around here. Alright, now let's begin to build our claw for our gemstones. So I'm going to simply use the curve command and simply draw a line to define our claw, just like that. Maybe I'm going to move a little bit, like so. Now I'm going to select my curve and use the pipe command. Press enter, and now I'm going to select the diameter, and for the thickness of our claw I'm going to make it at 1.1 millimeter. Press enter once again. So now I'm going to redefine the shape of my claw by using my control point and simply adjust to however I want to be. Make something like that. We can even add some extra length on the claw just to give a little bit of extra materials. Alright, once we are happy with that, I'm going to delete this pipe. I'm going to select the curve that we made, and now I'm going to rotate this curve and place our new curve somewhere around here. To do that, I'm going to use the rotate command, and I'm going to select copy, yes. Center of rotation will be the center of the world origin. First angle, simply like hold shift and place the first reference point on this red axis, and the second reference point will be at 45-degree angle. Press enter. Now select the new curves we made and again use the pipe command. Press enter and enter once again. So let's select this claw and change it to our purple layer. And now we can simply mirror this across the X and Y axis. Just like that. Now you can see that is working perfectly. So the benefit of doing this way is because we have our record history on, and we simply can use the first curve that we made to adjust the shape of our claw. Alright, once we are happy with how our prongs looks, let's move our secondary gemstones into place. First of all, I'm going to select our secondary gallery and change it to our purple layer. Going to select both object and move it up into somewhere or around here. And now I can use the rotate command by simply typing rotate on your command line. Deselect the copy option. Center of our rotation will be 0. First reference, snap it anywhere on the green axis and simply move this into place. I want to leave a little bit of space between the two gemstones. Using the rotation command will be better instead of us using the move and move our gemstone around. And by using the rotating command, I know that my gemstones is pointing on the center of our ring. So again, now let's make some claw for our secondary gemstones. Simply using our polyline command, and let me switch to the front view. And I'm going to simply snap it to somewhere around here and simply draw out the shape of my claw, just like that. I'm going to mess around a little bit. Once I think it is the right way, I'm going to use the pipe command, and for the diameter I'm going to thin it a little bit. Instead of 1.1, I'm going to make it at 1 millimeter, just like that. So again, if you need to readjust, simply use your control point and adjust it to however you think or feel it is right. So once it is done, I'm going to delete our pipe. Now I can select my curve, and because our diamonds is not centered from the world axis, it is slightly at an angle, I cannot use the basic rotating command. Instead of that, I have to use the rotate 3D command. The start of our rotation axis, I'm going to snap it at the bottom of our diamond, and the second one at the top of our diamond. Now, the first reference point, I'm going to jump into my perspective view and press and hold shift to constrain it on the X-axis. Now, the second reference point, I'm going to type 45 degree and place a copy of our curve, as you can see, at an 45-degree angle, and I'm going to make another one on the other side which will be at 135-degree angle. Press enter, just like that. Once it is done, simply right click on your mouse. Now I can select both of the curve we made and use our pipe command. Press enter and enter once again. Now we can select the two pipes we made and simply mirror it across the x-axis, just like so. Now we can select the pipes that we made and simply change to the purple layer. So if you have to adjust your claw, simply use the first curve that we made and adjust the control points. Alright, before moving forward, I want to bridge and connect the little gaps that we see on our perspective view, just to give like a solid foundation for our gallery and claw setting. So to do that, I'm simply going to use our curves, draw some curves just like that, hold shift and make a straight line. Now make a second curve by snapping on our second gallery, and I'm going to press tab to constrain and make like a straight line. Now I can select like both curves that we made and trim off the extra line that is crossing like that. Press enter, join them together just like so, and same thing on the top, make a polyline, a straight polyline like that. So as you can see, it is quite annoying because it is starting from the center of our object. So I'm going to deselect the center and simply like snap our first point somewhere here. Press tab to constrain, make a straight line, and now I'm going to select both curves that we made, simply trim this off. Press enter, join them together. So now I'm going to select also the bottom curves that we made, and I'm going to isolate it so we can have a better view. Now we can simply join and close to make a closed curves, just like that. Select all of those curves and join them together. Now let's show everything, and now I'm going to extrude. Use the extrude command and select both sides. So this object doesn't have to be big, right? It is just a shape to connect our gallery, just like so. Alright, now I'm going to select all of those objects that we have, and we can simply mirror this across the y-axis, just like that. Alright everyone, now we have designed our gallery prongs and diamonds. We can go ahead and design our shank. So let's start by making guidelines at the edge of our gallery by using our polyline, and simply snap it at the end, hold shift and simply make a vertical line, just like that. Now I'm going to select my curve and move it using my move command. I'm going to select a point which is somewhere around this axis, snap it somewhere here, and simply use this curve as a guide and drag it out like so, so we can see our guidelines. Now I'm going to make a blend curve command, simply typing blend curve, select the curves, which is our little guidelines, and select these outside rails like so. And as you can see, the second point is kind of flipped into the wrong direction, so I'm going to press on flip to button to flip the curves on the inside, just like that. Now I'm going to press OK. Now I can go ahead and delete our guidelines. Now I can simply select this curve and mirror it on the other axis. Now I can select all the curves that we have joined partially and simply trim off the excess lines that we don't need. Now I can select all of these curves and join it together, which then we can offset this curve to a distance of 1.95, which is the size of our ring that we decided on the beginning of this video. Now we can modify a little bit the shape of our curve to our expectation by using our control point. And as you can see, the control points on our curve is totally off. So I'm going to rebuild it by typing rebuild on your command line. And for the point count, let's input 31, the degree 3, and let's deselect this preserve and tangent direction because we don't have it. Same thing for the outside curve. Rebuild it and press it OK. Right, I'm going to modify the inside curve first just to break history because our history is made from the outside curves. So we need to start to modify the inside first to break the history. First of all, I'm going to delete some points such as this point, and this point. Simply press delete. And now I can modify both top curves and make like a nice taper on the top of our shank. I also need to snap this point to connect it to my gallery. So I have selected like both points and I'm going to use the move command and simply like snap it to somewhere around here. So now we can see like the shape of our ring, which has like a bridge on the middle along with our main shank. Now what we can do, create the bridge by using our arc and select the second option. I'm going to snap it to somewhere around here on the inside finger rails, and for the second point I'm simply going to snap it horizontally on the other side, and the third point simply snap it straight on the green axis, just like so. Now we have the new curve we made along with the base finger rail, which I'm going to switch it to a different layer so I can have a better selection. And I'm going to select the new curve that we made and offset it to the top by typing offset. So our bridge is 1.2 millimeter, and I'm going to cap this shape by just pressing the cap command. And by selecting the cap command, it let us like choose the flat end, which is what I want. And as you can see, it created basically our bridge. Now we can go ahead and simply extrude this cap curve by typing extrude curves like that. On the thickness, let's make it a 2.15 millimeter, just like that. Oh, sorry, I think it is just too big. Let's do it again. Extrude curve 2.15 divided by 2. I'm going to switch this shape to another layer, for example the green color, just like so. Once we have this done, we can create our shank, the shape of our shank. Alright, first of all, I'm going to draw the shape of our shank by using an arc. And let's select the second option. I'm going to zoom in on our right viewport and on our bridge right here. I'm going to snap it the first point on the side and simply draw an arc like so. Now I'm going to go back to my perspective view. I'm going to move this up right here, switch it back to my front view and select the move command and simply move it and snap it at the top of our shank. Then I'm going to rotate our arc we made and select the center of our rotation, which is the bottom of our arc. Snap the first reference point horizontally and simply align it with my gallery, just like that. Right, now I can mirror this to the other side, just like that, and I can run a sweep one rail command. Select the rail, which is our outside rail, and select the shape to sweep, which is this one, and the other arc. Press enter and simply press OK. So here is the shape, the outside shape of our ring, and now we can build the inner shape. First of all, I'm going to delete the bridge that we made because it is just too big. I'm going to delete this shape and simply redo it again. For the distance, I'm simply going to use the old distance, which is 1.2 millimeter, just like so, and press enter. Now again I'm going to extrude this curve to a distance of 2.15 divided by 2, just like that, and it should match our outside shank shape. Press enter. Let me switch it to another layer. I pull the red layer just so I can differentiate each object. So to design my inner rail, I'm going to select my inner rail and I'm simply going to extrude it to a distance of 2.15 divided by 2 and press enter, just like so. Right, now I'm going to select both shapes that we just made and isolate it first so we can have a better view. And as we know that both shapes has the same dimension, so now I can use the loft command and select this edge and the other edge like that, press enter, and now I can simply hit OK. And if you see some straight stuff right here that is happening over here, you can click on align curves to simply align it and to make like a straight surface. Press OK. I can select that and simply mirror it across the y-axis. However, there is like a little artifacts over here somehow. So what we can do, we can fix it, of course, by simply like drawing a curve right here. Select grid snap. And now I'm going to use a split command. Select the object to split, which is this one. Press enter, the cutting object. Press enter once again. So this is the side that has like some artifacts. I'm going to delete it and select the correct one. Simply mirror it across the y-axis, just like that. Now if everything is correct, I can join all of those pieces together. Now we can simply like close those open surface by simply capping it like so, and we can use the cap command because we know that we have like a planar surface. We can make sure that this is a closed poly surface, which should be displayed on your properties tab. Alright, now let's type show and bring everything back like that, and this is how our ring look like for now. So alright, now we can simply like refine the shank by tapering it the top, simply make it thinner. And to do that, let's jump to our right viewport. So first of all, I'm going to select the shape, scale it a little bit, and just slightly scale it like that, because we are going to trim off this shank. So I'm going to use the line command and select both sides, snap it at the bottom of our ring for the distance of 2.15 divided by 2. Press enter, hold shift to constrain a horizontal line, click on your canvas. Now I'm going to take polyline, snap at the end, and hold shift to make a straight line. Place our first point somewhere around here, and let's continue. Place our second point somewhere around here, and to finish off to somewhere around here, it is fine. So now I'm going to take the curves that we made and join them together like so, and simply mirror it across the y-axis, just like so. Now I can select both curves and join them together. Now I'm going to go to my perspective view. Now I can select my shank and do a wire cut. Select the cutting curves, press enter once again, and now we can simply go ahead and delete the shapes that we don't need, just like that. Now we can refine the bridge by running a fillet edge command. For the radius, we're going to make it 0.6, and we're going to select inner edge on both sides and press enter once again. Alright, we can also refine the inner shape of our shank by running the same command, fillet edge. I'm going to select all of these same side edge. However, as you notice, like it has separated in two because we have run a wire cut earlier. Going to press enter, and now I'm going to select add handle and place it somewhere around here. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to go on the top right here, click on this handle and resize it to 0.1, just like that. And same thing on the other side, 0.1. Press enter and enter once again, just like that. So what we can do now is also like make a smooth edge on the outside of our shank by simply rerunning the fillet edge and then double clicking on this edge to select the whole edge. And I'm going to resize the radius to 0.3, just like that. Same thing on the other side. Press enter, just like that. Now what I want to do is I'm going to split the shank so I can mirror this side on the other side. Wait to simply select a polyline, simply make a straight line like that, move it a little bit down like this, and I'm going to select the split command, object to split, which is our ring, press enter, cutting curves, which is this one. Now I can go ahead and delete that one we don't need and mirror it across the y-axis, just like that, and then join them together. So this is how our ring is looking right now. We can also fillet edge like the top part of our bridge, simply typing fillet edge. Select this edge along this other edge, simply press enter, enter once again. So here we have, guys, you have like perfectly completed this tutorial. If you like this video, of course, leave a like and subscribe to the channel.